Alright, my friends, I got another video for you here. A good demonstration, a good session where I was able to capture exactly what I wanted in the experience of the session. And when I go into a session like these exploratories, I get the best results when I'm very, very intent on experiencing exactly what I want to experience, which is typically a dimensional sensation. I want to experience something dimensionally. I like to experience things conceptually and get the ideas and learn something and grasp something. I love that stuff too. A little bit later on in an experience. What I'm focused on with my system here and as an element of the remote viewing process itself is the initial dimensional sensation. In neurological terms, it can be called haptic perception, also called stereognosis. I like both those words. Haptic perception means the ability to grasp something, also known as stereognosis. Involves the cutaneous receptors of touch and proprioceptors that sense movement and body position. Proprioceptors all over. This is interesting here too. The inability for haptic perception is known as asteronosis. So that reminds me of aphantasia and hyperphantasia. Aphantasia on the extreme spectrum means someone who doesn't think with thought. They don't have visual elements in their mind. They don't think visually. It comes through conceptually. Red concept of round, red, sweet, moving, not a movie playing in their mind. That's a spectrum, so you can go from the extreme where there's none at all, and then there's faint or blurry or whatever, and then on the other end it's hyperphantasia, people with photographic memories, or they're very visual in their thinking process. This here we have haptic perception, stereognosis, and asteronosis. So the ability to have what I call a dimensional sensation. The opposite would be the inability to accurately have that kind of an experience. But that's my main focus. I like the conceptual stuff, the deep understanding of things, deep comprehension. I love deep comprehension. Further on down the line in the session. In the beginning, what I've been focused on is the initial stereognosis, the initial dimensional sensation. It gives me the comprehension of an actual remote viewing is taking place. An actual remote viewing is taking place. Here's an example here. We have a range of time and space right here. This is a range of time and space. We know where and we know when. This is the mushroom cloud over Hiroshima, Japan. That is the space. After the Enola Gay dropped the first atomic bomb, we know the time. April 6, 1945. So this is taken from inside of the airplane. So these are the guys inside of the airplane taking this picture. So I had to look it up. Where are these guys? Right here. Right here. I think this is it, right? Rendezvous, Japan. I think that's where they dropped it. When they dropped it. Let me see. Here we go. Yeah, the aircraft arrived over the target in clear visibility, 32,333 feet up. So that's where these guys are. That's where this is, right here. 32,000, give or take, 32,333 feet in the air. So here's I'm blind, completely blind. This is what I call an anything quote-unquote target. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. It's completely random. It could be anything. Doesn't always have to be man-made. It could be natural. It could be water. It could be anything. Anything. And I need that because I want the purity of the sensation. So let's see what happened here. And when I go into this here, going into this experiment, my intention is set. I want to experience a dimensional sensation. I'm very focused, very clear, and I want something specific to happen. I want that dimensional sensation. Getting ready here.
8, 7, 1.
First ideograph. I'm not sure what that is. Come through, nothing is given, there's something there. But the dimensionality is not, the proprioceptors aren't releasing. Okay, something big, like that, like that, like that. Got a pattern complete of a stadium in my mind. So the pattern complete is the neurons have completed with a memory visual, and that is of a stadium. I don't want it. It's not what it doesn't match the sensation, so I drop it where it belongs. And get back to it. That had a specific sense to it, that ideograph. What my proprioceptors have provided for me. Dimensional sensation is starting to formulate. Again, starting. I'm not. The sensation is that a remote viewing is taking place. The interpretation is where my brain is and my proprioceptors are right now. It's formulating, but I don't have enough of what it's formulating into.
8, 7, 1, 5, 6.
That ideograph is starting to provide me with something. It's up. The dimensional sensation is now beginning to become an experience for me. It's up. Something up high. Got a pattern completes here of a plane, a balloon, a satellite. I'm going to get those out because they're completing. I'm running through them, just looping through them. Completes in my brain. A bird. I don't know what it is. All I know is that the sensation is I'm up high in the air. It's moving along. I really enjoyed this. Other than the subject matter here is terrible. Something that goes up, and then it comes down. Very basic. Very basic. I'm not really completing out here because I'm not getting any. I'm not interested in the pattern completes. I'm interested in this dimensional sensation here. Something's going up and then something drops down. Okay, I get the concept here, post feedback. But there's where I am. This is where my perception is. Up here in the sky. My experience of it is way up here. My proprioceptors, I'm up here in the sky, above ground. There I am, up there. Feels very interesting, very cool. I'm enjoying it. Again, subject matter is horrendous, but I'm not experiencing the end result here. Yeah, that's another indicator. That was like right after this ideograph, I could have said I'm 100% confident. Whatever this is, I'm up in the air. And there I am. I'm up there, flying around, floating around, enjoying it. Very much enjoying it. It's above the ground. And I gotta double check this. There it is. Flying. Floating. I'm up there. I'll show you how I check this in a second. There, right there. I check it right there. That's my check here. That this is where my perception is. The dimension. I check underneath it. Yeah, there's a lot of space underneath. Dimensionally, there's a lot of open space here. So that confirms to me I'm up high. There's another. Hey, I dropped the pen because I know I could literally say I'm 100% confident I'm way up here right now.
Up in the sky.
I'm up in the sky. So now I'm wondering, okay, what am I going to do now? I feel pretty confident remote viewing is actually taking place. Now I'm going to go into entry 2 here. I want to explore this a little bit more. Feel good enough to where it warrants enough for entry 2 shapeform. So I'm going to check more on the dimensions, the dimensional sensations. I'm going to open up to some more notions, aka pattern separations, and if I get completes, I got a place to put them to. So there's something flying in the sky, like that. Something's flying in the sky, like that. The notion is of a plane. Or rocket. Up in the sky. Up high. It's up high. Up high, yeah. 32,333 feet up in the air. That's where I'm at. Way up there. And I'm just cool with it. Again, I'm checking below. Just got to double check again. Dimensionally, yeah, there's a lot of space below, underneath. There's a lot of dimensional space underneath. I'm looking down. I'm way up there, man. It's cool. I feel very, very interesting. Felt very cool. There's my device, my flying vehicle. I'm looking down. Pattern completes of space shuttle. Yeah, space shuttle. Got to pattern complete that out. There I am, moving, float. I'm above ground. I'm just enjoying it. I'm self-indulging at this point because I love the sensation so much. I don't like the end result here, but being up in the plane and up there is, I'm not burdened by the reality here. I'm just describing what I'm experiencing up here in the plane. There it is. Long distance, very high. It's very high. The sensation of it. Again, I'm describing the sensation of it, not the concept here. Not the concept, the sensation. It's not easy to describe, it's not easy to explain. It's an experience of dimensionality. High altitude, a very high altitude. I'm looking down. This experience was very difficult to explain. Other than I'm in a type of smaller version 3D, three-dimensional representation of it in my mind. In my mind. My brain is doing it. There, I'm checking again. Yep, there's a lot of distance below me. Very interesting. I'm feeling atmospheric pressure being up so high. And I'm about good with it here. Yeah, I'm about good with it. Felt good enough to take it into entry 2, which was good for me. I'm going to call it, I'm got a confidence level of 75% that whatever this is, I'm up high in this craft here in a very high altitude. And that is true. I'm not disappointed that even though the focus here of the photograph is this destruction, I'm not disappointed that I did not experience it. I don't want to. I want the dimensionality of it. And here I am inside of the plane where the photograph was taken, from the perspective of the person taking the photograph. And that's where I was, way up high. So that's just another example of dimensional sensations, haptic perception, stereognosis, the importance of it, in my opinion. Because the real importance of it, the real purpose of it, is yet to be revealed. The importance of dimensional sensations is yet to be revealed. Because the importance of it is not just, I'm going to describe the target. Remote viewing, that's sort of level 1. That's level 1. We got to get to level 25. Do we get into the real purpose of this? The real purpose of remote viewing, which is not just describe the target remote viewing. Something way more. There's something much more important here going on. Anyway, hope you find that interesting. Many more to go.